What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's Brian again. I thank you guys for tuning in with me. Before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of things, we're gonna talk about some house rules, some ground rules that we have here on the channel. Number one, I am not gonna bother you guys with a bunch of long videos. My goal with each video is to be between 3 to 7 minutes long. Little charges y'all can listen to on the way to class, in between classes, you know, in the car. I'm not about to be up here preaching to y'all for like 20, 25, 30 minutes now. If y'all want, there are a lot of sermons on YouTube to go listen to. Not gonna do that. This is gonna be my longest video though, because this is an introduction. I'll give you guys some background knowledge on who I am. I wouldn't feel comfortable just bombarding y'all with a bunch of topics without telling my story, without giving my side of the story. Number two, I love music. I'm a big music listener. Well, I'm a big music listener, and I listen to a bunch of different types of music, ranging from anywhere between contemporary, Hillsong, Afro Nation, Afro pop, Afro praise, Afro. Listen to pop music like Shawn Mendes, all the way to rap as well. I mean, Young Thug, biggest Chanel bag in the store if she wants it. I mean, if she wants it, you can get it, you know, on the black card. No. But yeah, let's talk to music. So, with that on this channel as well too, I'm gonna be dropping playlists of like the hip, latest music songs that y'all can go and go listen to. It's just me again. I like music, so we're gonna do that. Number three, no name drops will be dropped in these videos, unless that said person, of course, comes on, like, hey, for example, I have my brother here, his name is Austin or Troy, you know, they're here with me. Those weren't named. I'm not going to be telling stories and name dropping. That's something I'm just not going to do on this channel. And last but not least, for all you Control-C, Command, C people who want to copy and paste the link and send it to other people, I've already talked to the said parties in the video as far as like my exes and kind of stuff. We had talks about what can and cannot be said, or the level of comfortability of what can be said. This is a moment in history that we shared, not just that I shared. So I have communicated with them what my idea was, the level of comfort. So feel free to share it with them. They already know, so jokes will be on you. So let's just kind of get into Well, my name is Bryant. I am 26 years old. I am Nigerian. I'm Igbo. I'm from Abia State, God's own state. I'm from Umuahia, to be exact. I'm from Amachara. So dealing back up there, I was born and raised in Maryland. I live here in Bowie, Maryland. Just about my life, I was always someone who went to church. I was born in the church. I was Christian in the church. I was all these kind of things inside the church. I went to one church for a good majority of my life, 16 years when I went to this church. Another ground rule, I talked about this as well, but be transparent in everything. You know, just tell my stories, everything that I've been through, struggled with, God has brought me from. Definitely transparency, because I definitely am a huge believer in, if you expose it or be honest with God, God can set you free from those certain things. So let's go back to the story. So I was raised inside this church, and my dad got involved in some things, and we had agents and police officers in front of our house, all that kind of stuff. Nothing of his own doing, is connections of people in Nigeria, all this suspected stuff. So one of my uncles introduced my dad to this church, and it's like this is an African church. I mean, mind you, the church I went to before was American, so we didn't have any power anywhere, come down and die, We didn't have none of them fire prayers. So give me whenever my dad's trying to tell me about this church, I'm just like, young, this is not it, chief. So me and my dad would constantly go back and forth, like, yo, I don't want to go, let's do this, but he would want us to go together as a family. And later did I know that God was actually, working things in my dad for me to go there. So we finally go there, and this is after a lot of fighting with my dad. We finally go there, and I'm sitting there criticizing the church. Church is in this tire shop warehouse. It smells, the bathrooms suck, and poorly lit, and there's not enough communion to go around, and all that kind of stuff. And I've told Pastor Chris, I've told him about all this already, so he is definitely forgiven me, and God has forgiven me as well too. And I'm just so hypocritical of this church. So while around that time period, we started going to this new church. I meet this super amazing girl. We start dating, and we're having a very, very great relationship. Now, of course, like as times are, like so not only talk about the church aspect, but the relationship aspect. But I'm in school, so this is my first year. So I ended up doing 2.5 years at a local school up here, called Bowie State. Shout out to the Bulldogs. But yes, I do 2.5 years up here, and things are just going great. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not someone who has a relationship with Christ. I'm a church goer, so I'm more fulfilling the religion aspect, not the relationship aspect. So things are kind of going on, and then me and my girl at the time, we end up breaking up. Some hurt was exchanged in a relationship, and I'm one of them people who, like, when I experience hurt, I forgive. Yes, God has given me the ability to be able to forgive people, but one thing and my downfall or my weakness is that I would tell myself that I'm good, but not really be good. So what ends up happening is that even though it's like a hurt person, hurting someone else, like the reciprocal, or that, like, the whole, like, recycling of hurt. That's kind of what occurred, and I faced with that a lot. But during this time period, I'm, going to church, got a little often, started going more often. So after we break things off, I'm like, I don't have any choice. I might as well just start going with God. So I go with God, so I go to church more on Saturday. I'm sorry, might as well be Saturdays, but Sundays, Mondays I'm there for Bible study. Tuesday I think I'm there for one-on-one. Wednesday I'm there for midweek service. Bible study is on Monday. Then Friday would be like night vigil, which leads pretty much into Saturday afternoon. So I'm constantly in the church, and I literally get involved in the media department at church. And this is all back in 2011, 2012, 2013. Around that time period. Actually, let's call it 2012 or 2013. So I literally get involved in this ton of stuff. So now I'm being more involved in church and all that kind of stuff. And now it's like I'm forced to have to be there because I joined the media department. So like I'm having to force to record, and I'm doing all these things by force. Not by force because I want to, but it's by force I have to be there to be able to fulfill my duties. So I'm there fulfilling my duties, and ends up what happening is God is kind of like grabbed a hold of me. Not only am I reading the Bible, in a year. Let me put this little disclaimer. There is a difference between reading the Bible and like reading the Bible. Like I read it. Can you ask me what I remembered? No, but I read it. Check that box, right? So, but yeah, so I do this for certain things, and then God is kind of get a grasp of me. So I can officially say that December 2012 was the day that God came into my life. And it's kind of unique, 12. There's never be like a 13 or 14. It's like the last of the months, or whatever you want to call it. So he took capture of me, and this has been great. So at this point in time, I'm realizing that, like, I'm one of them people who have just always been, a people person, a socialite. So I can tell as I started like getting closer to Christ, people started dropping off in my life. Friends and family, and people didn't enjoy the way that I used to live. Because I was not like a wild boy or like a harlot or like I was just someone who just got around a lot, not in the physical aspect, but entertainment wise. So that's not good, of course. So I did that, but people just started falling off, in my life and stuff like that. It's actually funny. My friends used to call me the cherry picker, because like they would like do all the work. I would sit back in the crowd, and then when it's time to pounce, I jump. So we thank God for growth. It's just been an amazing experience to just kind of just see myself involved. So now I go to school at Bowie State, and this entire time I'm living from my house. I mean, Bowie State is about what, 5-7 minutes from me, so there's no point in me paying that extra money to live on campus. So I live with my parents, cool, chop it out the bando upstairs, do what I gotta do. No, I'm not shopping any bandos or selling anything. But it's kind of crazy because I'm glad that God kept me in Maryland for those 2.5 years, because yes, between 2011 and 2013, whenever I left Bowie State, yes, I learned a lot, but it also got me a lot closer with Christ. So when I go abroad or I go somewhere, I have that relationship, not that relationship with Jesus. So now I'm someone who, I changed my major a lot when I was in Bowie State. And I know you guys, I'm sure you guys have had testimony on how many times you guys changed your major. I went from anesthesiology because they made I saw this time $245 a year. I'm like, hey bro, sign me up. But my EP, which is my enemy of progress, was medical school. I said, I didn't do school for how long? I met one lady who is she's a doctor, and God bless her heart. She was in school, I think she said, for a total of 19 years. I said, God forbid me? No, I'm not about to fake that. So I was like, nope, not doing that. Then I went to being business. So I wanted to be a CEO of Fortune 500 business. Okay, this I can do. And I was like, late hours, stuff like that, no. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. Now, whenever I was looking at, so I usually sit inside the computer lab, all that kind of good stuff, and quickly think through classes. So I come across an article on Yahoo, it's like the top 25 or top 20 at best paying careers. And I'm sifting through, it's in descending order, so I go from 20 all the way to 1, and get to 1, and 1 happens to be what? Petroleum engineering. So I'm like, oh, okay, then I see how much they make, and that's all you had me at. How much they made, it's like, all right, bet, it's a wrap. I'm talking about them peas, fam. I said, sign me up, bruv. Nah, so yeah, so then I did that. And my parents, and I thank God for my parents aren't the ones who, typical African parents who, force drive you to do certain things. Yeah, my dad kind of skewed my judgment, but it wasn't like a force, you must do this by force or we're going to be beefing kind of thing. I mean, perfect, for example, my youngest brother, Twirra, he actually went over to California to do dramatic arts, and my parents fully funded that, with no backbiting or nothing. So my parents are those African parents, or parents per se, who want their children to do what they want to do, no matter if it may not be the best, they move forward. So anyway, now I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna do petroleum engineering, so I'm taking all the different prerequisite classes. I'm taking all my maths, my Englishes, and sciences, all that kind of stuff, so that because Bowie State doesn't have an engineering program, or specifically petroleum engineering, I'm now shifting my focus on taking all the prerequisite classes at a cheaper school before I go somewhere else, most likely out of state. So the thing that I've learned about God is that sometimes you may say something in passing, and you may whisper it, but God hears it. I told him a while back ago that I wanted to go to school in Texas, even before the whole petroleum engineering thing happened. And I think I was actually watching the UT and Texas Tech game. Whenever Michael Crabtree caught that ball and touchdown, I was like, damn, that looks so tight. I want to be part of that. The crowd and the atmosphere and just all that. I want to be a part of that. So now it's like, okay, I'm not near the end of my Bowie State. This is around August 2013. I'm like, you know what, I need to start, applying to schools. So I started applying. I'm applying everywhere. I'm applying down south. I'm applying to Texas. I'm applying to, Kansas. I'm applying up north in, New York and Pennsylvania. I'm applying out west, and actually end up applying in Alaska. So you guys know how, when you apply to certain schools, you wait, probably about 3 weeks or a month or something back. But when you get a small envelope within a week and a half, there's trouble. You can definitely tell whenever you got accepted or denied based off the size of your envelope, right? Envelope or whatever you want to pronounce it. I don't know. Anyway, so I got a bunch of the small ones back, of course. So denied. And I'm just like, dang, this kind of sucks. But I still have hope because I still apply to a lot of schools. And how I wish that, if you deny my application, can I at least get half my money back? You know what I mean? If I'm paying $60 and you deny me, can I at least get the 30, back or something like that? Maybe work an arrangement back. But safe to say that a lot of money, went down the drain, application fee. So, like I said, I applied to Alaska, and to my behold, I think within 3 weeks, I get a big packet. I'm like, oh shoot, this is promising. But I don't take it for granted. It could just be a long denial about why they're not accepting me. So, so then I get the open envelope, and then I look inside of it. It's like, congratulations, you've been accepted to University of Alaska Fairbanks to study petroleum engineering, So I'm super happy. So at least I'm going somewhere. Because at this point in time, I'm telling everybody and their mother, even if you don't know who I am, I'm the old lady walking her dog in my neighborhood, or I'm going to study petroleum engineering, but I don't know where I'm going yet. So I do all that. And so it was one night, me and my family go to dinner, and I'm talking to my godmother, which is like my second mother. I'm talking to her, I'm like, hey, auntie, like, I'm going to school to go study petroleum engineering, and this is, I'm going to go to school in Alaska. She's like, oh, no, you're not. You're not going to school in Alaska. I'm like, what do you mean? I got accepted. She's like, no, you're not going. That's way too far. If anything happened to you and anything like that, it'd be so long before we get to you. It's just not safe. And she was telling me how, like, people in Alaska, how they suffer from different types of things because, like, it's darker more times than it's lighter. So something along the lines of that. So then her son, my god brother, was like, Mom, don't say that. Like, if he wants to go there, like, encourage him. And she's very, really, adamant on her whole, like, no, he's not going thing. So, now I'm at this point, I'm like, all right, it's fine. At least I have something in my back pocket. So if I don't get accepted anywhere, that's it. So, mind you, I'm still actively going to church, still building my relationship with Christ at this point in time. Things are still going, so I'm growing my faith. So I think I get one letter from, like, either Tulane or Tuscaloosa, or no, I don't know. Tuscaloosa's the city. I think it's Tulane. And I get a mail back, or Purdue, one of the two. I think it was Purdue. Get an envelope back from them, and it's like, no, we're not going to accept you, da-da-da. And I just remember, came back home after a long day of class, and I started breaking down, crying. Oh my God, you say you're going to do this? And you know how we be crying and be telling God everything we said, but even though he remembers everything that we said. So I'm sitting there just kind of going through the emotions, and then I will never ever forget, this is the first time I ever heard God's voice. Maybe this is the first time I actually recognized God's voice, let me say. I'm sure I've heard it before. But he said, but you told me you want to go to school in Texas. When I heard that, I looked away my tears, took a shower, went to go eat, and I went to bed. I had total comfort. I think the next day, I was studying for a Cal 3 exam. And it was just kind of crazy. So I was studying for a Cal 3 exam, like late in the library. I think the test was the next day. So me and my friend were studying for the exam, and I get an email like, create your Raider link. I'm like, bro, what is a Raider link? I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna sign up for it regardless. Anyway, talking about schools, sign up for it. So then I create my Raider link, and then I think a little bit after I got my Raider link sign up, I get an email that, congratulations, you've been accepted to Texas Tech University. And I mean, I was joyous. I didn't know what to feel. It's like, dang, but then it's like, of course, like nerves came in, like, oh, expectation. All this is kind of going on, mixed emotions, all that kind of stuff. So I'm super happy. I tell everyone that I'm going here, and I'm super, super happy about that. And this is after U of H denied me, but forget you, U of H, I'm going to better things. So yeah, all that is kind of going on, and just super, super, like, honestly, it's a great feeling at this time. I come back and tell my parents everything, and yeah, so then that's going on. And then let's like fast forward a little bit, because I don't want to bore you guys. Let's get to the meaty, juicy stuff. So, for those who don't know, I'm actually not a virgin. I've had 6 before, and then I'm abstinent now. I've become a new creation in Christ, so you can actually call myself, I'm a born again virgin. But no, so all this is kind of going on, and through this time period, I go to tech, and I told myself I'm gonna not date girls. So of course, like the naive Bryant, it's like, oh, I don't date a girl, I won't call her my girlfriend, I'll just be really, really close with her as great friends. Then when I graduate, I'll propose to her, and it sounds good, right? Yeah, but you just forget how close you actually get to somebody. So we did our roller coaster for a long period of time, and then I actually got into another relationship 2016. No, 2015. I'm sorry, 2015. I got into a relationship in 2015, and it's a great relationship, of course, as well. But things happen as well, and hurt again kind of comes in our relationship. But I think from there, where that one hurt the most was because this is again a time that I told myself that I'm okay. Take what I believe to be okay and say, like, you know what, okay, I forgive you, or whatever like that, like, let's keep on going. But in my time of doing that, as like she tries to reach back out to me, it's like hit her hand, like I'm pulling back. So in a necessarily way, I'm hurting her. So again, you're causing that recycling of hurt, which I have learned now is best to, of course, be honest with myself. So You know, it took me a lot of growing to kind of do, and right around the time of graduation, I meet, my amazing TOR family, and actually, no, right before graduation, year 2016, I meet my amazing TOR family. Um, Definitely go through a lot of like ups and downs within our church family as well, different relationships, all the kind of stuff, but it was just kind of crazy, and I'll save this part for another video. Got to give you guys some content, keep on coming back, right? So, but no, and then I guess I'll leave it off here. I have I definitely believe that God favors me a lot. He has definitely opened up doors for me where I shouldn't have been opening doors. I mean, not even to talk about how the fact that like I got into tech, I didn't even mention the fact that like I got caught finessing. I was cheating or cheated on an exam, on my Cal 3 exam, and of course like math, calculus 3, engineering kind of go like, peanut butter and jelly, or let me say barbecue sauce and jollof rice. So I got caught cheating, and it's just crazy because like not only did I get caught cheating, they did not put me on academic probation, but they gave me a D. And that same D I had on my transcript, I had to send to Texas Tech, and I sent it to them. And God in His infinite mercy, even when we do things that are wrong, or we like, not like curse at God, but we curse Him or run away with Him, try to do things our own way, His love is still greater. Not only did He still not embarrass me by writing out, because my parents still don't know, by allowing me to go to school, at Texas Tech, even in the midst of my not trusting Him. It's just an amazing feeling just to know the type of God that we have on our side. And I have grown so much, and let's kind of go to more current events. Like today, in this day and age, I've learned so much about God. I've experienced God. I've read the Bible. I've saw His face. I've done so much other things. But this is the year of 2020. I'm gonna be more obedient. This is the reason why this video is coming to you now, not 5 years ago when God put it on my heart. This is the reason why I'm wearing this ring. This is a purity ring. The reason why I tell myself that I'm gonna start focusing on things of God. I've learned so much about myself, about God, over the course of the latter part of my life that. I know that to learn to trust on the things of God and things that I kind of want to dive in with this channel by just trusting God, through all ends. You have to understand that, like, from the days of Abraham, where God revealed Himself as, Yahweh, I am, to the days of Donald Trump, God has been unchanging and never failing with any of His promises. And, yes, I've been through a lot of up and downs. Yes, I don't want to call them regret, but I believe that I've missed out on great relationships with certain people because of my, scaredness of commitment based on prior hurt. And it's not just prior hurt when it comes to girls. It's the hurt that I, faced whenever I was a young man. When I, not young, he was young. I was actually molested. And it's something that, it was kind of tough because it happened at a young age. I'm thinking of stuff that people do. And it's fun, let's just do it again, thinking, back to it. And it's not something that, of course, that I wish upon anyone. But because I believe that I did not effectively open up about it, but like as a man kind of swept underneath the rug, like, oh, I'm going to be okay. Oh, men don't do this because of what society says. I'm supposed to be strong. No, I'm probably like the softest man that you probably know. Like, I literally probably tell too much. Like, ask my friends, ask anyone. I spill the guts too often. I'm a sap. I know all the certain things. I get it. Excuse me, but being at a young age and not effectively handle that, I think affected my relationship growing up because it made me curious about sexual things at a young age, like trying to get that high again and feel those feelings again. So whether you're like watching porn or movies, like praying that my parents will go to, like, for example, like late nights when I was younger, I used to have my parents will go upstairs so I can watch like HBO, the naughty channel, all that kind of stuff. So at a young age, being exposed to that and trying to seek that high again, kind of clutched me, because it was just something that doing everything to kind of do to get that that high again, and then get into a relationship with certain girls. So I'm definitely like you, and I'm maybe in love with you and care for you a whole bunch, but getting to that threshold of now I've got my craving then it's kind of like, okay, now I'm scared, because it's like, being, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So it's tough, because I know for a fact that, if I was honest with myself at the beginning, more transparent, more open with myself, and just seeking the correct counsel, I wouldn't have fell into a whole whirlwind of pornography and masturbation. I wouldn't have fell into different lust phase or womanizing phases and stuff like that. But because of like, I was constantly seeking this high of like, attention, or I want you to, help me reenact what I want to do, all this other kind of stuff. It bit me the butt with like, amazing young women, and but it's nice now to finally be honest with myself, honest with God, and be transparent. Now I'm in Christian therapy. Now I'm taking that step to, and people have that whole debacle between therapy and no Christian therapy and stuff like that. I've gone through all that. We'll discuss that in another video. But it's just nice to be able to finally like just pour all out to someone, and for God to bless that individual to be a great listener, a great communicator, an effective remediation plan person, to work all those things together so that we can find a solution and live my best life. I'm tired. Like more of my adult life, I've lived my life in, with the mask on of hiding who I truly am, on the things I want to do because of what people might think. And even though I really don't care what people think, but in a way I actually do, and just trying to just make sure that I'm meeting everyone's needs before myself. It's not wrong to put yourself first. It's another thing I learned this year of just like putting myself first, and it's okay to say no to certain things. It's okay to say no to certain relationships. Not everything you have to say yes to. And I'm definitely learning, and I know I didn't, talk about the full dive of the testimony, but as we go on in these videos, you guys will kind of get to know me a little bit more on the way that I talk and stuff like that. I mean, the N-word is my favorite word. I'm not going to use it, but I am really trying to like lessen it down. I know my Kazim and Angie know, a couple of my close friends, they know that that word is like it's like hello to me. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to just break through a lot of cycles in my life and stuff like that, and I thank God for a lot of men of God and the YouTubers and pastors, who put their sermons on YouTube and helping be able to communicate to a younger generation that it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to be transparent, it's okay to be open and honest. Like, I don't have anything to hide, and I just pray that through this channel, as I begin to uncover myself and do this, and not only would I be set free from certain things that have helped me bondage for some time, but you can also be open with yourself. I'd like to thank you guys again for tuning with me today. I understand that I haven't gone through everything, so I'll be bringing people on the channel who have gone through some of the topics you guys have sent me, so they'll be better relate with you and be more relatable, as well as providing a platform at the end of each video for people to give their testimonies, whether anonymously or via publicly. Thank you guys for tuning with me.